This is Alok and I'm responsible for product management at ShiftLeft. In this video, I describe how Ocular can be used in CI/CD pipeline. We will use a sample application named Tarpit to showcase Ocular's capabilities. This app is written in Java and has been intentionally fused with multiple vulnerabilities. Next, we have around, let me show you this. We have a repository named Ocular script where we have around 10 scripts that have been written to perform various types of investigation on a given app. For the current demo, we have scripts to perform OWASP top 10 investigation. We have ability to generate attack surface through Ocular. We have ability to detect PI data leak to email, PI data leak to environment variables through environment variables, PI data leaks to log or leak of hard-coded tokens. We have an IDOR check. We have ability to detect usage of weak cryptographic information, and we have ability to see if there are suspicious code that reeks of rootkits and suspicious literals is present in the code. So these are few of them. And now what we have done is, if we go back to the Tarpit application, so this is the application we are going to build and test for analysis. So we have created a CI/CD implementation of Ocular with GitHub pipelines. To do that, we edit the default GitLab ci.yaml file. Now this YAML file has two sections. One of them is build the app and test the app. In the build, it's a normal Maven initiated process. And for the testing, and I'm going to put your focus here, that we are using multi-analysis through Ocular. So as I talked about, there are 10 scripts, and we are going to run all of them to figure out what kind of findings we can find from this app. So this is defined in the YAML file. We essentially install Ocular and essentially also get the Ocular scripts cloned on as part of the pipeline. And then we simply run Ocular in a very simple command where we say, this is the script that we need to run, and this is the jar file or the WAR file in this case that we are testing, and this is the name of the output file. Same way we run it for the Ocular scripts that we just talked about, the 10 Java scripts, sorry, not 10 Scala scripts. And then we again pass on the WAR file, as well as define a folder which is created locally where all of the results would be put in. Now, when the analysis would be completed, the analysis actually creates a lot of JSON files, and all of these JSON files, once they are created, would be uploaded in the artifacts directory, and we will see how. So now look at an analysis pipeline. So GitLab provided a notion of CI/CD pipelines, and if I click on this, I have done I've already performed a build here. And if I click on the last build that I had done, I can see there is a application building step, and then there are two test steps. I will focus on the single pass multiple analysis through Ocular steps. So if I click on this, once the build is concluded, and if I can go up where the build starts, and here I am installing Ocular, I am setting it up for the analysis, and then essentially I first launch the SAST analysis, and then I will launch the multi-script analysis. And this job concludes somewhere here by uploading the artifacts. And as you can see, the analysis, all of this actually concludes in 4 minutes and 44 seconds. That actually shows how fast Ocular is, where it does these 11 or 10 or 11 types of analysis within 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Now, once this analysis ends, it will upload all the artifacts into local cloud directory. This is the feature of GitLab, but we will focus on the results. So if I click on the sast.json file, it essentially lists out all the OS top 10 findings. In this case, it found 59 vulnerabilities. And for example, it is saying that there is a sensitive data leak. The data is leaked from this param to the log, and essentially it talks about what were the findings. So in the same manner, it will record all of the other vulnerabilities. We have a lot of sensitive data leaks. Let's see if we have something other which is interesting one. So we have a cross-site script vulnerability and it's happening as part of the secured servlet entry and where the sink is the printer writer.java. So as you can see, there are a lot of results here. Let's go back to other data that we have created. We have a script that actually generated the attack surface. Now this script essentially is defining what are the web routes which are available for doing kind of a penetration testing, what is the source, the function that is attached to this interface, and from this, if somebody wants to approach, what is the sink or what is the interesting resource that they can access. In this case, they can access Logger, or if you go to this one, they can access the database, or if you go to this one through this interface and using this function, they can actually read printer. So this is another type of analysis. This helps, for example, for penetration testers to conduct attacks on the application. Then we have, as I talked about, there are multiple other types of results. We can take a look at one more of them. Let's look at this. So this is saying that they detected a use of a weak encryption algorithm. In this case, we have identified this as one of the weak crypto that we do not want our developers to use. So we have created a rule, and based on that rule, it identifies all the source sinks and the flows where it finds the usage of a weak crypto algorithm. So that's is essentially concludes how Ocular can be used as part of the CI/CD demo. Just to explain, it can be simply integrated into the GitLab YAML file where with a very simple commands it can launch one or multiple scripts, and once that is done, then basically we can read the result as part of the output. Or in this case, in GitLab, it's pretty sophisticated, but even if you're running in Jenkins, it's pretty straightforward. It will generate a lot of file which you can actually restore in a particular directory. This is one way. More sophisticated things can be done. For example, for each of these findings, a ticket could be generated in Jira, or a Slack message could be sent, or email could be sent. So there are a lot of ways the CI/CD integration can be used to empower the customer. So thank you for watching this.